Before we lie down and make a start, I suppose I just want to reassure you that maybe emphasize that relaxation isn't about, you can't force relaxation. It's more of a matter of observing tension and trying to allow it to soften. It's never really about trying harder, but more like trying without expectation. And all the emotions we feel when we're injured, they're valid, they're very valid emotions, but they aren't permanent. Okay, so, and when we use our breathing exercises with these breathing techniques, they are a really good way to provide a tool for you to positively affect emotional states and physiological states so you can better heal, basically. Okay, so we'll start lying on the back. So I like to take my hands a little bit away from the body, turn the palms up to the ceiling. Now you can keep the knees bent with the feet on the floor or straighten the legs. It's completely up to you. Just make sure that the lower back feels long and comfortable. Now, if there's anything you can do that's going to get you 1% more comfortable, then do it. And then when you're ready, just start to soften or close the eyes. There are two reasons why we do this practice lying on the floor. One of those reasons is that we get much feedback from the floor when we breathe, so we can feel the body breathe against the floor. And the second reason is that it separates it from sleep. This is a proactive activity on your part to promote healing. Try and relax the forehead in a way that you feel it broaden. Relax the backs of the eyes. Maybe swallow in the mouth and put a space between the teeth to relax the jaw. And then we softly close the lips and breathe in and out through the nose. Take a few slower, deeper breaths all the way down into the bottom of the lungs. And then when you're ready to control the breath, I'd like you to start to inhale for a count of 4. And exhale for a count of 4. And then after a few rounds of breath, see if you can extend that count to 6 or maybe even 8. Just make sure you're breathing without struggle. Start to notice how the rib cage expands when you breathe in and how it falls away when you breathe out. And if the mind wanders away from the task of following the breath, it's your job just to draw it back. Counting the breath in, counting the breath out. The way we develop focus. Remind ourselves that this is a practice of healing, relaxing, but relaxing with focus. Can you notice the breath as it moves across the tips of the nostrils? Can you imagine breathing broader into the back, underneath the armpits? And then start to imagine breathing beyond the edges of the lungs, all the way down into the pelvis. Focus on how the belly expands. Focus on the pause at the top of the breath in. And the pause at the end of the breath out. And then start to breathe towards that area of pain or injury. See if you can imagine the deeper, longer breaths, kind of creating the space, time for healing. Imagine the breath washing through the area, akin to rinsing it. Moving away the debris. And then start to imagine breathing beyond the place of pain. Start to imagine breathing the whole body. For a moment, maybe visualize the whole body lying on the floor. Points of contact. Can you feel a pleasant heaviness to the back of the body? And in comparison, a lightness to the front of the body that keeps the breath easy. Let's just enjoy the next few quiet moments, breathing and being in the body. Without changing anything, just notice your breathing. And without changing anything, notice your body lying on the floor. Notice the whole body. Beginning with the smallest of movements through the fingers. Just begin to expand through the hands, maybe stretching the palms. Wiggle the toes. Maybe turn the head gently from side to side. And then go ahead, reach the arms overhead. Extend the legs away. Let's take a full body stretch. I'm going to finish just by drawing my right knee into my chest and the left knee into the chest. Bringing the hands around the fronts of the shins, maybe just gently rocking from side to side. Roll over to one side, rest there for a moment, maybe keeping the eyes closed for a little longer. Blinking open the eyes and pressing the hands down into the floor. Bring yourself up to sit. So just sitting for a moment, cross-legged or legs extended. Maybe just taking your point to a gaze point down on the floor. Just taking a few slower, deeper breaths. Just taking time to bring ourselves back into our day. Yes. And lift the chin, lift the gaze. I just want to say a little thank you for joining me for that session. If you liked it, you can subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my emailing list as well to keep up to date. Thanks again.